Hello YouTube, today we figure out if we can actually beat a Pokemon Yellow with only a VULPIX. VULPIX is a fire type, it actually evolves with Firestone, so I guess that it could be really easy, it could be really hard. A few battles can be really hard, but over here we have Professor Oak actually catching our starter for us, and we're actually going to grab it and we're going to nickname it Luna because I have no, or Luna, Lenny, because I have no idea what I want to nickname it. I rarely ever use a Ninetales, so I decided to nickname him Lenny. That was pretty random, I guess. Um, the first battle with our rival actually goes pretty easily because we just amber him to death, and that was pretty easy to do. He wasn't too problematic. The next battle actually goes down pretty easily too. We just spam Amber, we can't really do much. And he can't, or his CV actually didn't attack. If it did actually attack, that would be much worse. Brock was actually pretty easy because we do have Amber and his rock types actually have pretty bad special defense, so just spamming Amber actually does take him out. And spamming Tail Whip when Onyx uses Bite, um, so it can't actually hurt us. But yeah, Brock was surprisingly easy. I think that I got it in 2 tries. Um, then we got our first Team Rocket battle with Team Rocket, Justin James. They were pretty easy, I just spammed Ember. The next rival battle was the same, just spamming Ember because his team wasn't that bad. I was afraid of Misty, so I had to level up a little bit. I had to battle him before Misty because I needed a confuse Ray and I needed to spam Dig because her Starmie actually could destroy me, and it did destroy me a few times. It did take me a while before she actually used X Defend, and I barely made it, but I managed to win because I used Dig and she was left with a sliver of health, so I could just use Quick Attack to defeat it. The next rival battle was still pretty easy. His EV was still an EV, and I just spammed Ember here, or Flamethrower actually. I actually got Flamethrower. But yeah, such was surprisingly easy. Also because I just spammed Dig. And Dig is actually pretty strong in this game because it's actually the same power as Earthquake. So yeah, that was a pretty easy one shot. The next rival battle was still easy because he has a Pharaoh in this game instead of a Pidgeotto that he usually has, or Pidgeot. Um, so it doesn't spell sand attack, so that makes the game a lot easier. Shelter goes down to one flamethrower. Pretty easy there. He also has a Vulpix of his own, so I just use Dig on him. Um, I actually really like that I was team in this game. I wish that they actually left that in the Leaf Green and Fire Red because I kinda like it a lot. He has a Sentry, we just use Flamethrower here because that's pretty easy to do. And it just takes it out before it can actually use Slash or anything like that. And last but not least, he has an EV, so we just use another Flamethrower. He still didn't evolve this thing, but I believe that he does in the next battle. Next up is Erika. Erika's pretty easy, obviously, because we have Flamethrower, so we just Flamethrower her entire team. Then we had another Team Rocket fight, and they were pretty easy. I just spammed Dig and Flamethrower because Coughing doesn't have Levitate in this game. So that makes their battle pretty easy. And Eggles doesn't have an Intimidate. Next we have our first Giovanni battle, and we just spammed Dig. It was a pretty easy battle right here. Um, it wasn't too hard. I actually expected it to be harder. But he doesn't have Earthquake yet, so yeah, we will see about that later. Next up was another Team Rocket battle. They were pretty easy, even though their Pokemon actually evolved. This didn't give me too many problems. Next up was Koga, but he actually only has bug types in this gym, so or in this game, so I just spent flamethrower to destroy his entire team of Venomots and Venomot and Venonets. Next up was another battle with Deka. Sunslash actually evolved, but and so did VULPIX, but his team was still pretty easy to take down compared to Ferret and Leaf Green. He did evolve his Pokemon, but they couldn't do much damage to me, so they went down pretty easily. And next one up was a Kadabra. That one could actually do a lot of damage if it actually outsped and managed to attack me, but it didn't. We just used a body slam to take it out. But that thing was dangerous later on. Uh, he also has a Jolteon now. I just used flamethrower. I could go with Dig, but I didn't care. I just took it out with one flamethrower anyways, with a critical hit, so that was pretty easy. The rival battles are still pretty easy in this game. Next up was another Team Rocket battle, but I just used flamethrower over and over again because VULPIX is really strong at this point. Next up was the Giovanni battle again, and I just used flamethrower and Dick on his entire team. His entire team actually uh, isn't that bad right now. It does become stronger in the gym, obviously, but it's not that bad. The Persian is actually really dangerous if it can actually attack because it can get crits a lot. But it didn't get a chance to attack because I just used flamethrower and took it out. Next up is a Rhyhorn. I just used Dick on this because I didn't care about it. It didn't have Earthquake, so it just went for Tail Whip and one Dick took it out because I'm super overleveled at this point of the game. Or it actually survived on one, but it just Giovanni just used Guard Spec and that let me take it out with no problems. And next one was Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen was actually pretty easy to take down. I just used Dick and he went for Guard Specs because the AI is not the best in this game. And he went for Scratch, which did nothing, so I could just finish it off with Body Slam because I didn't have to worry about a Poison Sting. So that was nice. And Lenny is now level 60, so that's really good. We just spammed Dig on Sabrina. Sabrina was pretty easy. But her Kadabra actually survived and it did a lot of damage with Psychic. Alakazam was also pretty good. If it could use up Psychic, I would be done. But he just spammed Recover and that was pretty annoying. But I managed to take him out eventually, even though it took a long time. Blaine actually took me a few tries, but once I was past him, I think that Giovanni also took a few tries, but these two were the only sort of hard battles in the game. The rest of the game was pretty easy. I didn't expect to have problems with a fire type gym leader of all things. I did expect problems with Giovanni, but yeah, I didn't expect Blaine to be this bad. He took me a while to actually defeat, and it was annoying. But yeah, these two were the only battles that actually took me a few tries, so it wasn't that bad. The game wasn't that bad. I feel like Fire Red and Live Green will be much harder once I get to those games. Because the Rivals team is pretty bad and they have the abilities and the AI is much better than these games, so yeah, that will be much harder and it will probably take me a lot longer to complete. Since I only did this in one sitting, I believe, or two sittings, and it took me about an hour with speed up to do this. because Vulpix is actually a pretty good Pokemon on its own without even evolving. But yeah, there's a rival battle. It isn't that bad. Um, I took everything out in a couple of hits, and I barely took any damage. So yeah, he was still pretty easy. So next one was the Elite Four. Lorelei was pretty easy. It took a few tries because Dugong could do a lot of damage, but after that, the only real threat was Slowbro. But once I was past Slowbro and Dugong, I was pretty good. But yeah, Slowbro was the only one really annoying because it could spam Amnesia, and if he started spamming Amnesia, that was pretty bad. Because in yellow, the special stat is one thing, and you don't have special attack and special defense separated, so if he started spamming Amnesia, he was pretty much sweeping me. So I had to battle fuse there, but after that, it was pretty easy battle. Um, Lapras could do a little bit of damage, but I managed to crit it there, and that was pretty good. I actually took it out pretty easily. Bruno was not a problem, like he never is, or he barely ever is. Um, I just spammed flamethrower on his entire team and took it out pretty easily. But yeah, he wasn't the problem. The Machamp was the only one that could actually do a lot of damage to me, but he didn't. Next one was Agatha. Agatha was pretty easy too. I just spammed flamethrower on her entire team, and they went down pretty easily. So Agatha luckily didn't do much in this battle. She could have done a lot to me. She could have actually destroyed me, but she didn't. Luckily. Lance was pretty easy once I actually figured out the strategy. It actually took me a few tries. His Gyarados was pretty annoying. He could actually use a Hydro Pump on me and destroy me, but once it actually hurt itself in its confusion, it was pretty easy to take down. I just spammed Body Slam and took him out because Flamethrower actually didn't do enough to him. Um, but yeah, once he actually hurt himself in his confusion, he could actually go down pretty easily, and once I got past him, the rest of the battle was pretty easy. He wasn't as hard as I expected him to be, but again, I suspect that he will be harder in the remakes once I get to them. So yeah, once I got past Gyarados, his Dragonairs went down pretty easily to Flamethrowers. Um, the other one actually tried using a Bubble Beam on me or Bubble, and it didn't do anything. So that was pretty nice. Aerodactyl was the other threat. If he actually got up a Rock type move, I would be dead, but I just used a Confuse Ray to confuse him and then used Flamethrowers to take him out. I also used the Confuse Ray on Dragonite just so he could actually hurt himself. Just in case he actually went for Outrage. Outrage could absolutely, or not Outrage. Outrage is not in this game yet, I believe. But he could actually do a lot of damage to me if he actually hurt me. But he went down pretty easily to two flamethrowers. Last but not least was the champion. He also took a few tries because his Alakazam was actually really dangerous. He could do a lot of damage to me if I wasn't careful enough. But yeah, the rest of the team was pretty easy. His Alakazam was the only one that actually caused me problems because his Psychic could actually do a lot of damage to me. But the rest of the team was a breeze, especially because he had a Jolteon. If he had a Vaporeon, that would probably be much harder. But I'm kind of happy that he had a Jolteon because I loved using Dig, and I liked having a easy rival battle. So we ended up actually winning this game with only a Vulpix in a pretty fast time. It didn't took that long. The only problems were with Blaine, Lance, Giovanni, and the rival or the champion, and Lorelei. The rest of the game was pretty easy, like I suspected it would be. And I didn't even have to be at level 100 to actually do this, so that was pretty nice. Nice and easy, I guess, so yeah. Bye for now. See you in the next one whenever I decide to do the next one.